And we are back for the 5th round of our photo editing beginner video series. This is where we ended up, and I've got this folder for clothing that should remind me of doing the stuff that we're going to do here. Let me delete that folder, we don't need it anymore. And we'll create a new adjustment layer, hue and saturation. I'll rename that to face, as I only want to focus on the face with this one. And now we'll use this icon, just click on it and you've got an eyedropper to select a certain color range. And with this plus icon you can add parts to the color range. Just look at what happens here if I click on different colors. For example, this one. You can adjust it manually, obviously, and you can subtract colors as well. Let us focus on the face. How we get rid of parts of the saturation, and you can see what's being adjusted here. So we will have to use a layer mask on top of it. But let's first focus on the saturation. Around -20 should be good. And I'll decrease the lightness just slightly. So this is the before and the after. But we don't want to have the effect applied to the glow, so we use a brush tool and a black color. Make sure your opacity is cranked up to 100%. And now I'll paint on the clothing to get rid of the adjustment here. Alright, that looks better. Now let us create a new adjustment layer, curves this time. And you can see what happens. You can lighten it up or make it darker. It's always a good idea to create kind of an S shape. It increases the contrast, and for many images that's best practice. Let's just focus only on the clothing and we'll make it a bit darker. Let me rename that to curves clothing. And now I hold Alt and drag this layer mask on top of it so that it is applied to the adjustment layer. And you can see I need to inverse it, so I press Ctrl I. And I have to paint with the brush tool and a black color on top of it to get rid of it on the face and the hair. And I increase the feathering. Let me show you what that does. So it blends the edges a little bit better. And now I can see there is a clipping mask. I don't need that. So right click on the adjustment layer and release the clipping mask. I just activated that by mistake. Alright, and now we can adjust it better. You can see it's only applied to the clothes. And here's the before and the after in comparison, and it looks way better. Let's work with another adjustment layer, use saturation. And this time we wanna turn down a little bit of the intensity of the text on the sweater. I use the same method that we've used on the face and decrease the saturation and lightness a little bit. And now I need another layer mask. So hold Alt and drag the original one on top of it. We've created this in our last video. And I need to paint on the face with a black color as long as the layer mask is activated. like this. Increase the feathering once more. And that looks better. Let us play around with saturation and lightness once more. And it's fine. Let's try another method. Adjustment layer and color balance. You can use that as well. Shadows, midtones and highlights over here. And we will focus this time on the background. We need another layer mask, hold Alt, and now we've only got the background selected. And now I'll play around with the colors until I've got a little bit of a darker background. You can use all of these methods for each and every part of the image, depending on what you like the most. Over time you will find some preferences for yourself. Just use this example and you will find the image below the description link. Just use the example to get a feel for all of these effects. It's always the same process. Open an adjustment layer, then use a layer mask that we've already created, and then adjust the parts of your image that needs adjustment. Alright, I've given the background another hue and saturation adjustment layer, and this is the final photo of this video. We've got another one to come where we'll talk a little bit of the camera raw settings in Photoshop, but this is it for the 5th video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.